Hi, my name is Akira from KDDI Research. I'll present on recruiting and retaining users for security-sensitive longitudinal measurement panels. This work was done by co-listed authors from KDDI and Carnegie Mellon University. In human factor security research, many studies attempt to characterize human behavior on computing devices under realistic conditions. However, due to the limitation of user survey, researchers utilize this measurement panel approach, where participant devices are instrumented and their behavior monitored by researchers. The central problem of measurement panel is the highly intrusive nature. As users heavily rely on computing devices, device measurement becoming more and more privacy invasive. This requires that researchers have to explain the security and privacy risk to the potential participants. But in presenting this kind of risk information, users may be reluctant to join the survey. This leads to the challenges in conducting security-sensitive longitudinal measurement panels.
The research goal of this paper is to synthesize recommendations for recruiting and retaining participants for future privacy-invasive panel studies. We selected 3 case studies for this goal because we were involved in the design, conduct, and analysis of the research. We had direct access to the data, participants, and the other researchers.
The table shows the 3 case studies. They are recent long-scale longitudinal panels featuring 2,002,600 users and running for periods ranging from 2 to over 5 years, and conducted in Japan and the United States, targeting personal computers and mobile devices. Recruiting.
3 case studies utilize very different recruiting and retaining approaches. For instance, one study utilized monetary incentives to recruit users, while another adopted a popular animation character, and the third study provided additional security functionality. In case of SPO, participants were recruited in Pittsburgh area using University Research Recruiting Service as the primary source. Individuals received $30 upon enrollment and $10 for each month. In case of MSPO, sensor application is free to download from Google Play Store. It adopts a famous animation character. User can show the character icon on Android smartphone home screen. The security server is used as part of a specific web service primarily in Japan. The web service partners distribute the toolbar on behalf of security company as part of their services. The MSPO app consists of a cartoon character agent on the smartphone's home screen and a chat type interface. The animation character appears not just in the home screen, but in any application. Tapping on the character icon launches the app and brings the user to the chat type interface. The application is free to download from Google Play Store. Comparing SPO and MSPO, they are different in incentive design. So both samples are skewed in comparison to the general population. Most notably, participants in the MSPO study had lower income than US population. In addition, we observe a bimodal age distribution skewed toward under 30 and over 60. This may be related to the income skew, as the 2 largest subgroups consist of university students and retirees. MSPO sample also is strongly skewed toward men. We hypothesize this is because the sci-fi animation character is targeting toward younger adult men. Comparing SPO and MSPO, 2/3 of SPO participants reported having used at least one crowd working or survey platform. 23% of SPO users had signed up for other studies at least once a month. On the other hand, 10% of MSPO users had used crowd working services or other survey platforms, and only 5% signed it up in the last year. We asked important factors when participating in a survey. SPO users reported how much paid and amount of work are most important. MSPO users are interested in research purpose and privacy instead. We compared security behaviors by using security measurement score, CBIS, and its revised version RCBIS and NRCBIS. Comparing security behavior, users of MSPO is the highest score, and SPO is the second. As a reference of PC users, we listed CB score conducted in Japan for PC users. The difference in distribution of scores between these studies was statistically significant at the 95% confidence interval.
Monitoring inference, we hypothesized that users would change their behavior during the first few weeks in the study. Users may be aware that their device was being monitored. However, we did not find any differences in the behavior during the period just after recruitment. The figure shows the number of days participants were in the study and the average application use and so on. As the figure shows, device use remained constant regardless of the length of the time. We also observed that users visit adult and streaming websites from 0 day, retaining.
Between the three studies, we observed big difference in the retention rate. The graph showed a Kaplan-Meier survival analysis which illustrates the probability of a user remaining in a study after the number of days. As shown, the survival curve for SPO is relatively linear, with half of the participants dropping out after about 700 days in the study. MSPO, on the other hand, having high initial dropout rate, it loses 60% of participants over the first month. After stabilization, participants' drop rate is similar or slightly steeper as in the SPO. The first factor influencing retention is stability of the sensor software. The figure shows the number of active MSPO users and crash rate. MSPO software was tested prior to the initial rollout, but we could not cover entire spectrum of possible OS variation. After the bug fixed, the number of daily active users is stabilized. Similarly, one of the main complaints from participants in SPO was the sensor software slowed down users' device. The second factor is minimizing interference. The initial version of MSPO app continuously displays the character icon not only the home screen but also when using the other apps. This was designed to remind the user of the application monitoring. However, we received feedbacks that this feature severely interferes with users' activities. The third important retention factor is the right balance of communication with participants. In the MSPO study, we hypothesized that regular notification would increase users' engagement. We sent users 3 notifications per week. However, it became clear that users found this level of communication is too high. We turned off this and made them optional. In SPO study, new participants received an initial enrollment phone call from the research team. Then they received additional phone calls whenever they had stopped sending the data. This follow-up maintained users during the early phase of the study. I list recommendations and findings synthesized by the paper here. Thank you for listening. If you have any question or comment, feel free to send us email.